be consistent and stay loose and go out and make good shots today.
Okay, he's on the left lane now. Double up, 6th frame. And the lead changes now. It's Roth by 10 pins.
Little roommate courtesy there by Roth, too. I've bowled Mark Roth many a times and watched him in a championship round. When he gets ahead of a player like that and throws that additional strike, he usually lets the other player know about it. He just sat down that time. A little courtesy to Berardi here in the early going.
Oh, of course, the 9 went, leaving only the 4 for Berardi in the 6th frame.
Joe Berardi once told Mark Roth, I'll say 5 or 6 years ago, a conversation I overheard. He says, Mark, when you slow down, I'm taking over. And this match may have a little more connotation to it than we believe.
Speed on that spare shot was 24 miles an hour.
Young man who turned pro at the age of 18. I had the luxury of eating one of my first real Italian dinners when his mother and father had me over their house in Brooklyn. And Chris, I can wonder how Joe can stay that slim style with the true palatial layout they put at them on the table.
Pasta's good for you. That's what Francesca tells me every week. Oh no. Well, the 710, which his roommate once made.
Berardi hits light in the pocket. The 5-pin will go behind the 7-pin. Here's the ball, hits the 1-3 and drives the 5-pin right there. It got cut off, went in front of the 7. You want to see a legitimate shot at the 7-10. Watch Berardi. 25 miles an hour rocket.
On the button, our jugged speed gun, 25 miles an hour, but it's an open frame and a 24-pin lead for Mark Roth. One of our favorite trios anywhere, from left to right. Founder of the PBA, Eddie Elias. President of ABC Sports, Dennis Swenson, and his wife, Kathy. Glad to have them in Grand Prairie, Texas.
And here's what is happening on the lanes as you watch Berardi's last 2 balls. First place, the oil is applied to the lane to about here. As we watch Berardi's ball go down the right-hand lane, it'll come in a little bit high. As the oil carries down the lane even farther, this area is beginning slick down here. Berardi's ball goes high. Now he makes the adjustment over here on this lane. Remember again, the oil pattern is down this far. This lane he hopes is going to break a little more. It doesn't as the ball slides by the head pin and he ends up light. Now earlier those moves worked. Right now they're not working for Berardi. Roth has made the adjustments, has 24-pin lead, 7th frame, 3 strikes in a row.
Pin on the right lane. We mentioned earlier that he'd won 33 titles. He's had 28 seconds, 30 thirds, 15 fourths, 13 fifths.
Wow. And his record here, 7 times in the championship round. He has 1 win, 2 seconds, 3 thirds. And his destiny today is still undetermined.
And the man in golf that has those kind of statistics is right here. 11 tournaments in a row, 18 in 1 year, Byron Nelson.
Great man. I'm impressed by his hand strength, Chris. And he's a Texan. I was sired by a Texan who has the same kind of hand strength. Every time I see Byron Nelson, he shakes my hand. It sends my mind back home to my dad, who I'm sure is watching this. But right now, here's another of the greatest bowlers of all time, has a 23-pin lead. Mark Roth, 8th frame.
Okay, last year inducted into the PBA Hall of Fame, and Nelson mentioned his dad. It's the only father-son combination in the ABC Hall of Fame. Nelson Sr. and Jr.
Thank you, Chris, and congratulations to you, as you will be inducted into the American Bowling Congress Hall of Fame later in the year in Florida.
I should add, not as a player.
Berardi in a must situation.
Ooh. Remember, Berardi won the AC Delco Classic last week, but this is the Quaker State Open. And those people from Oil City, Pennsylvania, like Phil Petralia, his wife Carol, and their whole staff, they've really mixed beautifully with Jeannie Halsey and the folks at Grand Prairie to make it fun for the pros and the 2,000 participants in the Pro-Am.
That's for sure. As Berardi switches to another ball in the left-hand lane, he's using one ball in the left-hand lane, one on the right, and he must strike here to stay close in the match.
Wonderful clutch performances here by Joe Berardi. Now 13 pins separating these two close friends.
Berardi just drills all 10 pins in the pit. They could have been tree trunks and he'd have knocked them down. Good lift, high, solid hit. See how Roth reacts. What has made Roth so great is his ability to keep the pressure on his opponent in match play. He only leads by 13, ninth frame.
You know, you lose this particular match and you go home with a check for $8,000, but if you can go on and win the next game, you win $27,000.
Roth up in the 10th frame, 2 strikes working, could close the door on Berardi and go ahead to meet Bob Benoit, the tournament leader. It's down to the last frame. Let's see what Roth does.
Well, Joe Berardi last week had those Brooklyns, so Mark gets one here in the 10th.
Nobody will ever call Mark Roth stupid as he watched Berardi take the championship last week with 5 crossovers. Once again, Roth gets a great break and is the undoing of Berardi as Roth catches the break, which will send him in the championship match against Bob Benoit. Joe didn't like that. I don't blame him.
Looking for another and is left with the 310, and Joe shakes his pal's hand. Mark Roth has one more chance for his 34th title against Bob Benoit. That'll be coming up, of course. Roth will be in the 220s. So we've had Voss winning a match, we've had Berardi, and we have a split conversion by the great Mark Roth, a 223, and we'll have Berardi's final score when we come back for the championship match of the Quaker State Open.